Okay.
more input that we have.
Are you happy? So it worked out good that I showed up to get you over to that thing.
Yeah, well, without it, we wouldn't be going live right now.
Hey, that's why I love Zoom. I love Zoom. That feature in itself is worth gold. You're actually live on your channel then?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay.
I gotta rename the stream and everything, but yeah.
Well, that means I have to pull your channel up. And
I think you should rename it Ghost Mafia Can't Get It Up.
Blue pill conspiracy.
Oh.
Or Ghost Mafia finally got it up.
You're cute, Lou.
I got so many windows open now. I got to close a bunch of windows then.
No, if it was named after me, it would be Lou Rock Has No Reason to Get It Up.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Glad it's your channel.
We're talking about the live stream.
I know. I'm just kidding. So Ghost Mafia.
You get a sick mind, Wacky.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just woke up and here I am. Now I'm on a live stream. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
It's David Swan's Zoom meeting is what it says.
Yeah, it's gonna change. Well, everybody knows it's not hard to figure out my name. It's all over the place. So it's like,
it's on
my name
on voice change. Okay. So Jeepers, now I gotta share this out.
Okay.
On Twitter.
Tags. Pushing everything. Insert. Okay, tags are going in.
I just tweeted it out. You're lucky. I just made some coffee, actually.
Well, we are getting an hour late start, so it probably won't be a long show tonight because of Zoom didn't want to cooperate with me for some reason. And but here we are coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the basement of Lou Rock's grandma's house.
My grandmom's dead, so.
Well, I mean, that would be a pretty undisclosed location then, wouldn't it?
That was a can of worms there, I think.
Well, it was a shot in the dark. And
of all names you could have.
That was the wrong shot.
That was the wrong way to open up a can of worms. Yeah.
Sorry, Lou.
It's all right.
Sorry, Mama Rock.
I don't think she'd mind if you're under her house right now.
I got 27 in the house already.
They only been waiting an hour.
Right? They have been waiting a long time. Oh, this dashboard thing is a little weird. Seeing
guys, Ghost Mafia could not get it up, but now he's finally,
I think they're here for the
Wacky's help. He got it up.
I got to admit, I think I saved the day on this one. I think I actually did.
I never thought would have thought of opening up dashboard. I would thought like, how you do the OBS and you click on the camera and go live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you put your stream key in the OBS and all that stuff. And I've dealt with that, but this is something different. I've never had to do this before, especially with Zoom.
It's a conspiracy.
Live. Yeah, they tried to shut us down tonight, but we're back. We're late, but we're back. They tried to shut us down.
Oh, your thumbnail is my big fat nose. I love it.
It's a good schnoz. It's a good schnoz, Lou.
I mean, it's like that's like the schnoz of right there.
But the schnoz before Christmas?
I think what makes the picture is the tooth there, just right at the lips, along with the nose. I think it just gives a mystique to it,
Yeah, like I got one tooth and a big nose.
Groucho Marx should be proud.
Thanks. Appreciate
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Let's see who else out in the chat. We got Citizen Z TV, TCTV, Killer Whales in the house, Jenny Marshall, Carol out of the comfort zone, Green Bay Wacky, Stephen Dennis, Bill 56 Bel Air, Dave the producer. He said the nose.
Are you still screen sharing or no?
No.
Right.
No screen share.
I don't know what is wrong with my thingy, but
What's wrong with your thingy?
Sounds like a personal problem, Lou.
yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my thingy.
I was thinking that there for a second.
But did you check your thingamabobber?
My thingamabobber does not. Nobody sees my thingamabob.
Okay. What about the thingamajiggy?
My mom's got that up in the closet.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay, there we go. We're all set up now. Everything.
You're all set up now. I can't even see the chat for some reason. Oh, there we go. Now I can. Yeah.
All right. We got 37 people in the house, guys. Tweet this out. Let them know that we finally got Zoom fixed. OBS didn't work out for shit with us. I'm gonna have to revamp that. I need to uninstall, reinstall, and then like give full control over to Fireman CV and say, tweak this thing, would you? Like, that's what I need to do.
Now, I did something today with OBS. I found out to update OBS, you just reinstall it on your computer, but just don't delete the main file, and you won't lose your scenes. I didn't know that.
My OBS updated today, but I think I got from being out there at the other house and the low latency and all that stuff from out there. The internet was so slow. I've got the settings way out of whack. So I got to go through and revamp all the settings. I need to start it from scratch and, get him, show him what my specs are on this computer, and then he'll match them up with the specs that should be in the OBS. You know what I mean? To make it run.
Hey, Stephen Dennis, how's it going? Joyce Sumter, hello. Tina's Vlogs, nice to see you. I see a bunch of rock fams out there. Country Girl, what up? Alyssa, I know you're out there. I know you're out there. I can feel.
Lou, you was telling me you had a bunch of conspiracies that you wanted to touch on last week that you had forgotten about.
Yeah, well, I kind of went into it a little bit, but I didn't go fully into it on we're on and it doesn't matter. We're gonna go into it here. Yeah, actually, I've been doing a lot of research into a gentleman, and I'm gonna type his name into the chat here. John Searle is the gentleman's name.
John Searle.
And John Searle is actually the guy who's behind making the maglev technology for like the bullet trains.
Mm-hmm.
He actually created the rail system for maglev trains. So this guy's pretty smart, really good engineer, and there's a technology that he made. And this is going back, I mean, really far to the late 40s. And the technology, I mean, I know we've talked, you remember you were talking about the bell from Hitler had the bell, they call it
the
Wonder Weapon.
The Wunderwaffen, yeah.
Yes. Well, it's rumored to be the same technology. It might be different, but what my main thing here is John Searle created this generator, and generators completely run from magnetism.
You're talking about like the magnet train that that rides on the rails, but it doesn't touch the rails.
Yeah.
Yes, that's called mag levitation.
Yep. Magnetic levitation. Okay.
Yeah, magnetic levitation transportation. And he theorized back in, it was like the late 60s, early 70s. He said, with my new system here, we can get trains to go upwards of 300 miles an hour plus. And now watching that today, we know that he was right, because we have trains that go 300 miles an hour plus we have the bullet train. And so the guy was really onto something. Well, he created this generator with a bunch of magnets and a rare earth element. And the magnets are set up in such a way where the machine powers itself without any external power. It doesn't take electricity. It doesn't take gasoline. It doesn't take hydrogen. It doesn't take any fuel.
What?
Yeah, no fuel.
It's basically a perpetual motion machine, and once it's started,
It keeps
it
itself
doesn't
going.
stop. It just keeps going.
Yeah,
That's kind
it
of
just,
old school because that's like, you know, the big wheels that keep themselves
Well,
going.
and this machine actually super cools itself to reduce friction.
well,
And
actually, the super cooling was something that that he figured out on accident
yeah, it's like a side effect from the system.
from the magnetism. And so first of all, this technology just alone a generator that can generate electricity without any friction, without any loss of power. I mean, this is literally free energy.
I mean, think about if you went out and bought, say, a generator and had it, you know, wired into your house and everything. It runs on, you know, usually the Generac systems, they'll run on like a propane tank or natural gas. Okay, this wouldn't use any propane or natural gas. And every once in a while, you go out there and you check the oil in it. You wouldn't need oil because there's no friction.
Yeah, there's no oil, there's no nothing, there's no friction. Friction is what slows things. The friction was the main problem with a machine like that. Something always creates friction, which it takes more power to run it than it would take to generate power. That was the issue.
I mean, that's the problem with the cars nowadays. It's like, you know, they do get hot when they're running. The engine block gets hot. That hot and the friction inside the motor will cause what they call viscosity breakdown of the oil, and that's why you have to change your oil so many thousand miles. You know, so you have to have fresh oil in there to keep your engine running in your car, and then you have to put gasoline in it to make.
That's what's truly amazing about this machine. Is
Has he made it, or is it just on the draw?
he's made this machine. Now here's the deal.
Oh boy.
If you look up his name all over YouTube, other engineers, other scientists, other YouTube channels have replicated this machine and to success. They've successfully replicated this machine. So tons of people have done it. There's tons of videos about it.
Wow.
Now, the machine that he built, all right, not only does it give free energy, but what he found is with this rare earth element, part of the machine, it's when the machine would get going, the machine would start to super cool itself, which a lot of people who know about levitation, and we've done this with small objects before, if you super cool something, like it has to be so cold. Like sometimes they use nitrogen and stuff, and they could only get something to levitate for just a short amount of time, but they could actually do it by supercooling. Now, this machine super cools itself. And so what this gentleman did is he actually took this generator, and he was being balked at by scientists. The television network showed up. Finally, when the scientists knew that he was correct and that they were wrong for calling him out and saying, you know, this machine can't do what you say it does, he actually built this machine. He put it into a vehicle that looks exactly like a flying saucer. That's exactly what it is. It's a flying saucer. And he flew from one part of England to the other part of England at, I don't know what this is in miles per hour, but 3,500 kilometers per hour or minute, whatever. It was really, really fast. And so this machine, it actually It actually mimics what most people would think of as a UFO. A lot of people have said they've seen, you know, these vehicles that are moving so fast it couldn't possibly be, you know, modern aircraft, because for one, our aircraft can't stop at angles like that. They can't go speeds like that. And this guy John Searle actually showed everybody that he did it. Video cameras were there. He succeeded.
Well, now here's my question with that. Okay, let's say that this technology gets out there, somebody picks it up, and they start making these like UFOs, and all of a sudden we have, you know, for $100,000, you could buy your first UFO and fly it wherever you want to go in the world. You know, obviously, they'd probably have to beef up the technology to take it into space, but you know, for now, it would be like the Jetsons automobile for us.
Yes.
Okay.
They estimate that with this machine, they could get from the ground on Earth to the moon in 9 hours. Now you're talking about no more big giant rockets, millions and millions of pounds of fuel just to get objects up into space. That's one of the biggest reasons we can't colonize space, is because it costs us so many millions of dollars just to take a pound of any kind of cargo into outer space. So with this machine, it's free. Plus, you get there a lot faster, and this is able to be done.
Well, I'm thinking not even to the moon. I'm thinking if you wanted to go to the UK, you could be there in a 15-minute ride in your spaceship.
Yeah, well, that's one of the the tests that he did. He actually got from one part of England to the other part of England in 3 minutes, which is extremely fast.
Okay, now hold on a sec. That's an extraordinary claim. Is this documented or is this rumor?
This is documented.
If I went on, search that out.
Yes, you can search John Searle.
And I mean, I found him. I found his generator.
Yes.
But he actually documented making this trip?
Yes. News crews documented it. There was lots of people that showed up. They seen it.
My question is, if this were to go mainstream and it was for sale to the public, what kind of licensing would you have to operate this vehicle? What kind of restrictions?
Well, hold on, because that's what I'm getting to here. Thing is, once they found out this technology was viable, the government immediately stepped in, took his patent, shut him down, and pretty much put him into obscurity in the scientific world for the rest of his life.
Is he still alive?
No, he's passed on now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, can you imagine the implications? Okay, so here's this engine that you could build at a quarter of the size and put into an automobile. Now, you might not get the speed out of it using it for an automobile, and you'd still have some vehicle wear because you're turning a drive shaft or half shaft.
You'd get the speed out of it. If you think about it, this thing it continuously goes faster and faster and faster and faster. In fact, it would go so fast in a vehicle, the vehicle probably couldn't handle how fast it would go.
That's what I'm saying. You would have to downsize the vehicle and restrict the engine speed to a certain extent. And like, you know, if you're wanting to put it into, say, if you wanted to adapt in a 1970 Buick LeSabre and put this engine into it, you would have to scale it down. It would be the size of a weed eater motor that would be able to run this muscle car.
Now,
think about that.
Here's the big conspiracy here. As soon as he made this technology, the government comes in, takes his patent, does whatever they want with it. So of course, since it's something so groundbreaking, they must be working on it. You know, it's 2019 now. This guy's had this machine since the you know,
The 40s.
well, the technology was being worked on in the 40s, but it's been in action since the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Now, I want everybody, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about this, watch a movie on Netflix called The Unacknowledgeable.
I watched that, but I fell asleep to it today.
All right. So no. In that TV show or on Netflix, it's a documentary. They actually come out, the guy who the guy that documentary is about, he actually formed SETI and all these different things. And what they're talking about is they're talking about how we have the technology to look like we have spaceships. And there was a program that actually, this is more public knowledge, they were mutilating cows. They were mutilating farm animals, or picking them up in these vehicles to make it look like a UFO abduction. They were mutilating cows and leaving them all over like the Midwest and stuff. This is very well documented. Now, that was a government program. For what reason they were doing that? What it seems by that movie, The Unacknowledgeable, is that the government has kind of been doing these things to put on a fake of alien invasions.
We got a $1 super chat from West Haven, always and forever. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the super chat.
So what I'm saying is these UFOs that we're seeing, I don't think that they're UFOs. I think they're technology that we have. We will not release it to the public, because if we did, it would be the end of gas, oil.
It's all money driven.
And that was going to be my next
Squash everything.
If this were to go mainstream, it would shut down it would shut down power companies. It would shut down oil refineries. It would shut down coal mines. It would shut down airlines. This technology is out there, and all of a sudden you can get in your Jetsons mobile, leave your driveway, and be in London in 15 minutes. Yeah, you don't have to book a flight anymore, and it ain't going to cost you anything because it doesn't cost anything to run the car.
Well, they'll police the skies just like they do with water. How they can, you can't collect rainwater, really.
If they released this technology, all right, and if they did it in a responsible manner, started out cars, this, that, whatever, think about the leaps and bounds we would make when it comes to exploring the galaxy. We should be, as a human race, we should be worried about getting off of this rock and getting on to the next ones, because what if something happens, takes out the entire earth, just like the dinosaurs? We should be working on getting off of this rock, making colonies on different planets, different bodies. I think you're right. The economy would drop a lot because of the oil and energy industries.
Oh, it'd crash. It wouldn't drop. It would crash.
Yeah,
but think of how many other new industries would start up.
Well, I mean, the power industry, it would run itself. So you don't need the nuclear reactors. You don't need the coal furnaces to fire up. All those would be going out of business, and they would just retrofit a few around, different parts of the country with one of these motors that can generate, all the power that everybody needs. You know what I mean? So There's going to be a lot of people out of work. All of a sudden you don't need a huge refinery with big smokestacks and steam billowing out into the sky, polluting the rivers and the airways and all that stuff, because you got a free power source,
free energy,
pumping out free energy. And you don't have to you don't have to have the coal mines running to keep the furnaces going. You don't have to have the people there shoveling the coal into the furnaces. You don't have to have, all the stuff that goes into making the power that we need today.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure that they'd probably, one of the last power sources that would be shut down would be the hydroelectric, you know, where like, okay, they have up Niagara, they have a hydroelectric plant up in that area where the water actually goes through a tunnel and turns turbines to generate electric and then goes back out into the river. And, you know, that would probably be a sustaining source that they'd keep in operation for a while. But the coal furnace, you know, steam, you know, powered electrical turbines and things like that would all get shut down and be replaced with one of these machines.
But you know, it would also, there'd be something else that would happen. It would be the workforce would change.
Yeah.
I think about how much money me and my wife have to make a year just pay the electric bill, put the gas in the cars. You know, it's like a donation to that industry. So
Now what I think that would end up doing in the long run is not only is it going to shut down the coal mines, it's going to shut down the fracking, it's going to shut down, you know, all these industries where there's jobs right now. It's going to put a lot of people out of work. But at the same time, you're going to see prices of things like milk, bread, cereal, you know, your foods and things like that are actually going to go up. So the prices of everything else is going to go up, but it's going to be comparable to the change of what you're not spending on electricity.
I mean, I think that there would be so many new industries, so many new areas for people to work. I mean, some people got to build these machines. So there would be a lot to benefit. The thing is those giant companies, those giant oil companies, all those energy companies, we have a vested interest in that in our country. So, and it's not the first time that the government has stepped in and taken a technology away from somebody. The first car that ran on water, right?
oh, that was, yeah, I watched the special on that.
Back in the 70s.
Yeah, got squashed down.
Yeah, they took his patent. They took it from him. They seized it from him. Does that sound like the United States, where we can say, "Oh, we're taking this"?
Yeah, it does sound like look at the Native Americans that were here. We walked in and said, "This land is ours now. You go on out west. No, a little bit further. No, a little bit. You know what? We're just going to set this land right here aside for you. You guys can squat on it, and everything else is ours. Well, and if you don't like it, hey, here's some Hudson Bay blankets treated with smallpox."
I just mean in the way, you know, my great grandfather, he fought on the USS Hornet, and he lost a lot of his friends. And every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, he would tell me about those friends. And he would tell me if he didn't make it off of that boat like they did, my whole family wouldn't be here. And so all those people have died and put their lives at risk for us to have a country of freedom. And this is what we do. People invent things and we strip them of it and say, oh, now it's owned by the government.
Oh yeah. It's the way of the world. Have you seen that movie, What Killed the Electric Car? You know, about the electric cars they squashed in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were actually driving them and they were working fine. And they actually sort of like crushed them all down. They wanted them gone. They didn't want people get rid of those.
Yep.
Well, they had some problems though with some of the electric cars back in the 80s.
That's what they want you to think.
Well, no, there actually were some drawbacks to it. They didn't hold a charge for very long. You could only drive them for a couple hours, then you had to charge them again. The early electric cars, I mean, they had electric cars back in the 1920s. You know that, right? They had matter of fact, they had electric cars back here during Henry Ford's time. There was electric cars.
It just wasn't feasible to hold what?
Well, they ran on a battery, just like the electric cars do today. And there was an electric motor, and they, you know, wooden spoked wheels on them, you know.
Because I know the battery has gotten smaller through the year. Even back in the 80s, early 90s, the biggest problem with electric cars was you had to carry so many batteries. The car was too much. The car would go very slow and it wouldn't have enough backup power.
Well, it didn't have enough torque behind it.
Yes.
It's
Well, now, I mean, oh, sorry for cutting you off.
No. Well, all I was going to say is it's not even really about the inventions themselves. All these things, electric cars, magnetic generator, it's all about controlling the people.
Yep.
They want us controlled to be slaves to work, to keep working and
Well,
let them go about their business.
You know, that all comes back to like the cure for cancer. Is there one? I think there might be.
There's no money in that though. They want you on a drug.
There's no money in the cure. You know, if you could pay $100,000, take one pill and be cured of cancer for the rest of your life. Okay, that's only $100,000, but they'd be making. But if you have cancer and they can keep you alive with the treatments and the medications and all that for the next 10 years, you're going to end up paying almost $100,000 a year for the next 10 years on those medications, whether it be your insurance is paying it or you're paying it out of pocket. Either way, they stand to make more money treating the patient other than curing the patient.
Thing about cancer is there's so many different kinds of cancer. There couldn't be a one cure-all for all kinds of cancer. Cancer is the dying of cells in your body. That's what it is.
Well, I think about this. How many different kinds of illness does penicillin cure? How many different types of infection does penicillin help out with? You know, it is possible to have one cure-all. It's possible.
Parsley is actually good for cancer.
I mean, I've heard of people curing themselves from cancer from strictly diet.
I mean, and then again, like you said, there's different types of cancer. It just depends on what type of cancer it is, you know. But if you had one medication out there, you know, one thing that would attack cancer cells and not the white blood cells, you could cure cancer with just one pill.
I'm not a doctor and I don't know much about like curing diseases and stuff like that, but I think I've seen a show where what they were working on is stopping the cells before they turn into cancer. If we could control that part, it's almost like a vaccine, but we'd have to be able to control the body from them cancer cells going active, because everybody's got cancer cells in their body. Just when do they go active?
Yeah.
Did anything come of the magnetic generator? That guy, did it ever go anywhere, that technology? Or is it completely suppressed right now, Lou?
It's been mostly suppressed. A lot of people recently have been doing their own tests. They've tried to reconstruct the technology themselves. Of course, this man has since passed away, so everything he really knew is pretty much gone. But the technology is still out there, and it's still possible to be.
Well, here's my thing, and it's just like the cars that run on water. Now, you can watch videos on YouTube right now that will show you how to do it's called a hydrogen generator conversion on your vehicle, and it will either run on water or run as like a hybrid you mix the hydrogen with the gas, and it makes it last a lot longer because the hydrogens are going to be more explosive, burn cleaner, and when mixed with other fuels, it'll burn up all the elements. There wouldn't be your exhaust would be clean. The only thing coming out of your exhaust is water. So your vehicle is actually running on water primarily, or running on water with hybrid as a gas engine. And there is actually videos on YouTube right now to show you exactly what to do to build this conversion for your car, for modern cars, for older cars, the whole nine. until this new technology that he came up with, it's so simple that people can start making videos on how to recreate it on YouTube, and people in general public start doing it on their own. You know, that's when it's really going to take off.
But the question is, can you really run a car with your feet like the Flintstones? I was just wondering that.
I think so.
Sorry.
Cab 7, what's going on, brother? He's out there in the chat. Big shout out to Cab 7. What's that?
I gotta convert my diesel to running off oil. I gotta do that.
Vegetable oil. You use vegetable oil, isn't that what they use? Biodiesel.
Yeah, you can actually. I can convert my diesel pickup to run off that. I think it's $600 for the conversion kit, and then there's some heaters that will you click them on and they'll heat the oil.
So we have a new conspiracy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Diary of Her Mind has restarted a computer multiple times, and it will only let her see Lou Rock's nose.
Ah,
And the chat. She can only see Lou Rock's nose in the chat.
Look, personally, I think Lou Rock's nose is carrying the show, Ghost. I mean, I know
I do too.
I mean, I know we're good looking and everything, but I think the nose with the side shot of the tooth there with the lips open is carrying the show.
That is.
Yes.
Can everybody else hear us and see us? That's what I'm wondering now. Like, I see Purgatory Paranormal of New York out there. I see Biga. I see Cab 7 was just in there. We got 53 people in the chat. People's watching. They've been responding to some of the things that we've been saying.
You know what, Green Bay? You're right beneath me right there.
But on my Zoom call, I'm above you, so it's only for the audience.
Well, I just sneezed on you.
Now, I did, before we started the stream, I did check the YouTube outage map, and there is a bunch of outages out there. In fact, I can pull that up now and screen share it with you guys.
Guys, it took us, it took Ghost, a while to get this live stream going.
Well, Cyborg Tech was on my panel, in my chat the other day. He was on the panel, and he's into internet security, and he actually pulled up the not only the outage map, he pulled up the cyber attacks that are going on against the internet daily, and actually showed where they're happening.
So yeah, there's a ton of YouTube outages right now all over the United States, especially East Coast and California. So
hey, you got a donation there with a pretty interesting comment.
Oh yeah, let me see. Let me get to that. Oh, what's that say? $10 super chat from Cab 7. I want to know how long it's going to take Green Bay Wacky to say he has to leave the panel because he has to be with his wife. Oh,
I'm wide awake, Cab 7.
It's 11:47 now, so we'll start the timer right this second.
I was kidnapped onto this live stream, Cab.
Yes, you was.
I missed your Sing Your Heart Out. Remember, I just said that to Ghost, and he had this problem with Zoom, and we got it fixed. And I was going to leave the room and said, "Give you the." She's stay on the show. I was kidnapped, so.
You wasn't kidnapped. He had already ended that stream 45 minutes before you even came on this call. Diary can now hear us and see us. Okay, so she's doing a happy dance. All right, good. 58 people in here, guys. Share this out, tweet it out, put it out. Cardboard sign out next to the road, neighbor's van. Have the kids out there with paint their lemonade stand and tell them Ghost Mafia and Lou Rock is live doing question everything.
So I got a question for you guys. Has to do with this whole because they're calling that machine an anti-gravity machine. If we'll say if the government had the technology, do you think they would fake an alien attack against its own people?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in your mind on that a little more. Why do you think the government would want to create the illusion of aliens to cover the magnetic technology?
Not to cover the technology. They would use the technology to orchestrate this fake invasion.
See, my mind is traveling down a different road with this. And it goes back to the whole 5G conspiracy that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. But, hypersensitivity to electromagnetic fields can do strange things to the human body. So you're talking about electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So if this was in place and everything, your car's got one of these motors, you got one of these motors for, say, you got a well and your well pump is run off of one of these motors,
Yeah, there's no radiation that comes from this. There is what they described as a haze that actually, you're right, it's untested, so you don't know the effects on the body.
It's maglev technology, so there has to be electromagnetic radiation that comes from it.
Well, a lot of people believe in healing through magnets. They have those bracelets and all that stuff. I'm not saying they work, but
Epstein with a $10 super chat. Green Bay Wacky missed my sing your heart out tonight because he had to squeeze some lemons from his lemonade stand. You bass trad.
that's not fair, Cab. I wish I had some lemonade right now. I've only got coffee, but lemonade sounds much better, actually. But I do have some Mountain Dew, I think, in here.
Lilith Nova is in the chat. What's going on, Lilith Nova? Lilith Nova has a wonderful YouTube channel. I haven't seen her in a long time. We actually had her on the show one time. She does a show. I forget what the name of it is. It's it's on the tip of my tongue, Lilith. I can't think of it right now. Help me out.
Screw the pooch on that one, Ghost.
Yeah, I did. No, we have had her on the show before. Well, not this show, but EVPs. And she does it's something like Question Everything. Peculiar Occurrences. That's it. Yes. Peculiar Occurrences. And she does a lot about like the disappearances of people in like the parks. You know what I'm talking about? All the people that's gone missing in the parks and things like that, national parks and all that. So there's some conspiracies there too. We might have to get her up on this show, Lou, one of these days. She's got a great channel. Missing 911, yes.
I never get tired of talking about that 5G because that's going to be government control, end of the world.
Yeah, that 5G actually.
Well, what happens when you mix the 5G with the maglev energy-free technology?
Well,
wow.
The maglev, if you watch John Searle himself, he even goes into how it doesn't put off radiation, stuff like that. But actually, there was what he described as a electronic haze that kind of messes with the human brain. That's how it was explained.
I mean, it's not giving off a radiation like plutonium would, but just like this rare earth magnet right here. If I put a here, this is my computers is giving off electromagnetic radiation. That's what you're seeing coming up on this instrument right now. And people can be hypersensitive to electromagnetic radiation like that. It can affect them. It can give them skin rashes. It can make them paranoid. It can make them see things that aren't there, like all kinds of different things. And this is one of the things that in the paranormal community,
those are going to be pretty much obsolete now that 5G is out, because everywhere you go, you're going to be able to pick up EMF everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but you realize, dude, they could feed you anything they want in your body through our food supply. We wouldn't even know it.
Oh, yeah.
So another thing is, do you think, Ghost, that all this radio frequencies, 5G, all right, it's 10 times what the government allows, the EPA allows for for humans to be able to withstand. Do you think that the uprise in paranormal occurrences, EVPs, EMF detections, all kinds of stuff like that, could be linked to even 4G, but 5G as well?
Well, and now here's what I know about 5G is that they can't put it on a regular like cell phone tower. They have to actually net the area for 5G. That's why there's only certain cities right now that have true 5G technology. What they do, they actually put the transmitter on the top of a telephone pole, and they'll put one 3 blocks away in every direction until the whole city is networked, because it's so, the 5G is actually pretty short ranged. You know,
I also heard that
you're
they'll
limited to
bounce.
like 600 feet. So they have to have another transmitter within 600 feet of the first transmitter. And they have to put it on all these like telephone poles across the city to cover the whole city. They
Yeah,
can't.
but why? Think
I
about it.
also heard what they'll be doing is they'll be using our own cell phones as a transmitter. So we'll be next to other people that have cell phones.
That is where Xfinity right now. You've ever gone through a town and you pick up that stray Wi-Fi signal that says open and it's Xfinity, but when you connect to it, you have to put in your, say you have Xfinity at home, you can sign in through your home status into that. Okay, now with the new technology, and I just got it, these are the 5G routers right here. I've got one sitting on my desk. There it is right there. That is the new 5G router, and it not only works as my router,
It's
but
a transmitter.
it's a hotspot for the whole neighborhood that transmits Xfinity Wi-Fi via 5G.
And that's the most dangerous part of it, is because now you have that right there in your house, right there. Now, when other people start getting them, we're going to be in a big bubble of high radio frequencies, which is pretty much the same thing as being inside of a microwave.
Now let's see what kind of baseline reading this thing is giving off.
But I would
Now-
go back to the question of why
Now-
5G if it's so
Here-
innocent.
Here is the crazy thing. Look, I've got it on now. If I move it over here next to the speaker net,
But didn't you say the 5G isn't active yet?
the 5G is active. Okay, it's
Well, there's 2 bandwidths, Lou. There's 2.4 and there's 5. Like a dual band router, they call it 5G, but the older computers don't get into it unless you get an adapter.
right.
Yep.
But that's a little bit different than the ones they're going to install on the in every.
And this is just to
Every
show you
neighborhood.
this thing is working. This is the electromagnetic field that my laptop itself is giving off. When I put it over here right against the 5G router, there's no magnetic activity coming off of that. There's no.
But Ghost, could you put that under Lou Rock's nose there and see what kind of
Yes.
reading we get?
Okay, Lou Rock's nose.
Yeah. See
Oh
what
my
kind of
God,
reading.
it's maxing
Oh,
out.
look at that! It just went up.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh my goodness! There was,
Holy crap.
oh my goodness! It went up.
It's nuclear.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I knew it.
I'm gonna have to get a Geiger counter. That's all there is to it.
But I still say why? Why 5G? Why?
What do you mean, why 5G?
No, I mean, you know what? Because we need to watch our movies faster. There's a sinister plan.
Well, now as technology grows more and more, okay, in my house, I've got this 5G router. In this room alone, I've got 3 computers. I've got 1 smart TV. I've got 1 camera that's IR, internet-based camera over there. I've got, and this is just in this room.
Yeah, but
So
everyone's
in
on.
my bedroom, there's another smart TV. There's an iPad. There's our cell phones. All this is connected to just the 1 router.
Yeah, but we're on fiber optic now. A lot of
Well,
people.
when you start getting multiple devices, I'm not just talking about 2 or 3. I'm talking about 15 to 20 devices in the home. And even now, you can even go out and get a refrigerator that's a smart refrigerator. It has a touch screen on it, You can order your groceries, have them delivered to your house right from your refrigerator. You know, more and more appliances are either Wi-Fi based or, you know, things like it will connect to the internet. They're smart devices. Okay. Your stove's going to be, at some point, your coffee pot might be. You'll be able to go to your Keurig, pull up and order more Keurig pods right from the Keurig itself.
Chris White says they outlawed banned it 5G in New Zealand. Chris is down in New Zealand there. That won't last long, Chris.
Lila says, right, I feel that we have 5 computers, 2 phones, 6 tablets, and 3 smart TVs. I've got 4 smart TVs, 3 computers, a couple of tablets, 4 more phones, and who knows what else.
Maybe I should have worded different. When I say why 5G, what I mean is they're gonna sell it to you as, oh, but it's faster internet, it's faster. But there's a sinister plan with it. It's gonna be about government control for sure.
Well, it's all about bandwidth. It's getting as much bandwidth as you could possibly cram into your household, because all these multiple devices, each one's going to use up a certain portion of that bandwidth.
There's a thing that Green Bay's getting at is this thing is totally weaponized.
Well, yeah.
So
if they were to pair that 5G up with, say, the RFID chip, they could probably start zapping people to get out of line right as they sit at their own.
They could do it without the RFID chip. With that technology, they could actually start frying people and do it. They could actually do coordinated attacks with that technology. And
it might get amplified through your own computer. You might be sitting there, you get out of line, and they might use your own computer just to zap you.
Well, now think about this. Now, you can go to Lowe's right now and go to the door lock department, and they have what do they have? They have all internet based. You can unlock your house from your cell phone. You can check the doorbell. You can, all this technology that people are putting into their homes now to make it a smart home. You can control your lights, your window shades. You can get all the components right there at Lowe's or Menards or one of these places to put into your household, that you can control your whole house, the lights, the coffee pot, everything, right from an iPad. Okay.
Now that brings up another point. How lazy are we getting that we can't go over our coffee pot?
And I'm thinking the right hacker could make somebody think their house was really, really haunted. I'm just saying, like lights flashing on and off, coffee pots turning off and on, TVs going off and on, like everything that's electronic is going crazy. You know what I mean? The right hacker that might be fun to do, actually.
I think it's leading up to mind control. That's what they want to do. They want to control your mind.
Actually, Green Bay, there's a lot of studies that actually have already proven the stuff that they can do, which is getting pretty close to mind control with this technology.
Well, here's my question. We're poised in a technological world, and we're to the point where in the next 50 years, you aren't going to be able to buy a house that doesn't have all this technology already built into it, especially if it's a new home. Okay. And the technology is just going to grow. It's going to get bigger and there's going to be more and more of it. But when the shit hits the fan and all of a sudden there is no power, and there's no technology, how crazy is it going to make people? If there's no phones, there's no lights, there's no computer, there's no tablet, there's no smart TV, there's no cable, there's no internet, there's no nothing. You're just thrown back in the 1600s.
Yeah, you know what? That would be, we had a power outage here, and it lasted 2 weeks. But the electric company told us that it was indefinite. They don't know when they would be able to get the power back on.
I feel that this generation that is here now, kids today, kids tomorrow, are going to be so hooked on technology and so dependent on it that if the shit were to hit the fan, there'd be mass suicides. They
Yeah.
wouldn't know how to deal with life, and they'd be ending it.
Forget suicides. We had
Night shame.
2 weeks. It was down. And within that 2 weeks, all the food was stripped off of the shelves of all the grocery stores.
Oh, we're getting raided too, by the way.
You couldn't buy gasoline from the stores because the gasoline pumps were run off of electricity. This was only 2 weeks. People were actually getting like hurt in the streets over food and gasoline in 2 weeks. Imagine if the full grid goes down across the entire country and they say, we don't know when it's going back on. That's war.
Look at what happened at
War in the streets.
what brought on the Great Depression when the stock market dropped, and people who depended on that money, the people who had sank their money into those commodities and things like that, all of a sudden had nothing, were completely broke. There was a rash of suicides. There was a rash of suicides and traders and things like that. They had money and then it was gone. And they had no place to turn to. They had nothing, set back. They had no emergency fund in place, and they thought that there was no way out. And there was literally people jumping off of buildings in New York City when the stock market crashed. This is actual fact.
Yeah, you're talking about everybody losing everything, like their financial. When you can't.
Well, think about it.
Actually buy.
That's where it's going to. They're wanting to get rid of paper money. Everything's
but Ghost,
credit card.
I'll tell you what. When
they want
shit,
us gone.
Yeah, when
Older
the shit hits the fan, it ain't gonna be me killing myself. It's gonna be war in the streets because everybody's gonna want to feed their children, and the only way to do that is it's gonna be freaking, what is that show? The zombie show, the one you watch.
Walking Dead, yeah.
Walking Dead. It's gonna be Walking Dead. It's going to be a bunch of different factions of people that are fighting against a bunch of factions of other people to kill them for the resources that they have, because within just a few days, everything is stripped from everywhere. Never mind.
I got to give out a shout out to Rebecca's Realm. She is out there raiding us. They are like mad raiding us right now. I'm loving it.
Rebecca's Realm?
Raid, yes.
Hey guys, Rebecca's Realm made pterodactyl dance challenge. Check out Rebecca Realm's channel.
So she is raiding the hell out of us right now. I think it's a conspiracy.
No, what I was saying goes, they want us gone. We're the last generation. Government wants us gone, the old guys. They want
think about it.
They want my kids.
How much easier would it be? You take away paper money, make people completely dependent on the internet and keeping track of their money because everything's on credit cards or plastic cards or chips or whatever. And then the shit hits the fan. Okay. You're going to have the old timers that thought they had money that now they don't have shit. They don't have access to it. They don't have any way to spend it. It's gone. It's history. Nada, nothing, zip, zero, zilch. Okay. What are they going to do? They're going to be in a depressed state. There's going to be a rash. And then you have the kids that are so dependent on the technology and the internet and, information.
You're the resistance, Ghost. You're the one that would be the resistance. My kid would be the guy that'll do anything that the government tells them. They want this generation gone, even though the people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they want us all gone. They want our kids. That's who they want, because the kids are the ones they can control the easiest. The young people have no idea how the world really works. They have no clue. All they do is sit in the freaking. If I went and had a real talk with my kid sometime, he'd think even when I suggest things like 5G and all that, he laughs at me. He's like the literal. I heard it on the internet, so it's true.
When I first heard about the 5G coming in, I thought, okay, so my phone's going to be a little bit faster. I'm going to have better internet on my phone, stuff like that, better internet service, whatever. I'm thinking it's just the next step in mobile phone technology. I couldn't have been more wrong. I started checking into it. I started reading up on it. I started finding out about the effects that it has on people and, what its, capability is, what the potential for armament or actually making it into a weapon. I mean, basically, you're creating a network of towers on telephone poles outside your home and even in your home, sitting on my desk right here in front of me.
Jojo's
got a link. I sent her the link. But yeah, I mean, and if they wanted to turn up the dial on it and make it crank out some kind of nasty stuff, yeah, they could. Is it going to affect people with, okay, JoJo, for example. Now, JoJo had surgery and she has a metal rod in her arm. There are certain frequencies that you could actually make that metal rod vibrate inside her arm. You can make that thing heat up if the right frequencies were generated in her presence. Okay, you can make that thing actually get hot with the right, say, microwave radiation. The same kind. Now, we've had microwave technology for years and years and years. We actually have microwave towers that transmit radio and television signals now. So to crank up the volume on those things that give radiation, you're basically turning a whole city into a microwave oven. And what happens when you put something alive in the microwave? You ever seen what happens to a hot dog when you just put one hot dog in a microwave and you leave it in there for a minute? It's all split and it just blows out from the inside out. Yeah, that's what could happen.
Think about it. For the most part, though, I'd say 30, 35 years, we're all gone. The old generation's gone. All they're left with are my kids.
Yeah, Jenny Martha says, it blows up. Josie says, I have metal rods in my back. My dad had a defibrillator and could blow things up. Yeah, so you guys, question everything. Go out, do your homework, read up on the new technologies coming out, watch some videos. It's all out there. It's all out there. Make your own decision. Think about it.
Well,
don't just listen to me. I might be just some kook in my basement talking to you on YouTube right now. But if you look for yourself, you're going to find out for yourself. So
some of it's out there. There was a big thing going on with Google where they weren't, they were basically giving you information that they wanted you to have. Like, supposedly it's supposed to be a search engine that you can find everything on a certain topic, but they were actually censoring certain topics. So you'd only get some information on it.
Yes, Lou Rock touched on that.
Then Google, all right, Google did this. All right, see, so there was this, it was a public service announcement. It was get up and go vote, right? Get up and vote was the name of the campaign. Get up and vote. So what Google did is, since it collects information on all of us, it collected the, political information on who you follow, what party you follow, what subjects you follow. And they only set out the public service announcement to people who were backing their candidates. And when they did this, it actually boosted the vote by 9 million. That's when they first tried it. Now they've been doing it in every election since 2016. And they just had a Senate hearing that the Senate talked to this guy who does statistics, and the statistics show that this next coming election, whoever Google chooses as a president has a very, very large chance of becoming the next president because they sway so much of the vote.
Mile High Savage says, oh my God, Ghost Mafia, Green Bay Wacky, and Lou, there was a light show event in downtown Denver. She says, I got to find my video. I'll send it to you. I swear those were 5G lasers. I'll send it to you somehow. And now here's the thing, laser technology in communications has been around for a while. There's a place in Lansing, Michigan. It's called Impressions 5 Museum. They had an exhibit there back when I was like 16, where they demonstrated a pair of laser walkie-talkies. And basically, you got the lasers lined up from one end of the building to the other and hit the other walkie-talkie with the laser, and you could talk through the laser beam. So it was, it's kind of like fiber optics, only without the cable.
Well, imagine if the government could just take you out with a laser.
Well, and now here's
It's out on your telephone pole.
Oh, they can take you out. They can take you out.
They just send a laser beam through your head. Boom! You'd slump over in front of your computer. Gone.
Not only that, if you go to New York City, there is a spy museum in New York City, and some of the technology that they've had since the 70s with lasers was some of the buildings that the delegates and stuff were put in around the Washington D.C. area. The windows would have a small triangle that was made to look like the hotel's insignia etched into the glass. But if they were to hit that triangle from another building with a laser, they could listen in on every word that was said inside that particular room, and nobody would know because they could use laser that was infrared.
That's why there's no more windows on government buildings. Government buildings are inside of a surrounded area with no windows, because all we need to do to listen to people talking in any building is bounce that laser off a window.
Yep.
This is gonna be random, but we're talking about conspiracies, the government, all that. Anyone in the chat or anyone on this panel, have you been seeing these commercials for the Epoch Times lately? This new newspaper that's supposedly fighting the government. They've been advertising everywhere, and they claim to be giving you the real story on life and politics and all. Have you heard of that? Anyone?
Yeah, it for me it was called the National Enquirer.
No. This is
No. I understand, but you know what? You get just as good news from the National Enquirer.
I was just wondering if anyone had subscribed to it, read it, anything like that.
I actually was watching a show that said the stories in the National Enquirer, a big majority of them are true, and they get shot down by big media as quacks, as you know, they're the fake news. They're the ones making stuff up. Actually,
Men in Black, they go to that.
Actually, it's like a big misinformation thing. There's a lot of stuff in those tabloid kind of magazines that are actually true stories, but the Enquirer or different news like that, they're the only ones that will cover these stories. So a lot of times there's a lot of really good information inside of these, the alien met with President Trump last week, on a secret island in Mars or something. I don't know, but
not a great gamer. I'm going to send Lou over to you after the stream with your sausage.
Yeah.
Sausage is.
Gloria Renkus is a subscriber to that new newspaper, the Epoch Times. Have you read any of their issues? Is it really what they say it is? Well, they claim to be covering Spygate and all this stuff that people don't want to talk about. I'm just waiting for the headlines to say everyone at the Epoch Times, got whacked out. I'm like,
that's not good.
No, they're making some really bold claims. Like they're going after like high positioned people in government. They say they're blowing the lid off it.
And you know what happens to them? I'll predict what happens to them. Even though they're blowing off these lids and stuff, they will be labeled as quacks.
Quacks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be labeled. That's something that we do in this country. Anybody who goes against the grain, you're crazy. You're crazy. And that's the fallback. That's the fallback that always works. And they'll do it for another, I don't know, bunch of years.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, they're talking about Spygate. Okay, I'm just reading what Gloria Renkus is saying here.
I mean, look at, we're talking about conspiracies. Look at the time that we live in. Everything is a conspiracy, it seems. Do you guys follow Donald Trump on Twitter?
I see his tweets all the time, but
Here's the thing.
I just love what they're doing to Trump right now, but that's okay. Now the news
right.
is he's going to resign. That's what they're telling everyone.
Now, I would think myself personally that Donald Trump would have somebody tweeting for him. Okay, somebody controlling his Twitter, right?
Yeah, you would think, but supposedly he does it himself. I don't suppose.
I'll tell you what.
I don't buy it, but
well, if Donald Trump tweets all of his own tweets, he's more of a social media addict than anyone in here or on this chat. Because, all right, I followed him on Twitter. It never stops. Every 7-8 minutes, the guy's got a tweet going up.
That kind of makes sense considering he was the one that made the big announcement about the 5G. He actually did a press conference to kick off the whole 5G campaign. So, you know, I could see him being for, you know, better internet and better,
So he could tweet his tweets.
Yeah.
I don't know how often he tweets. I haven't really just stared at his account.
I'll tell you what, he tweets so much that's actually him. What the hell is he doing other than tweeting? And I'm not even I'm not anti-Trump or
I don't know. I hear you.
But it just seems like if that was him tweeting his own stuff, he does nothing but sit on Twitter all day and tweet and tweet.
Let's see, an hour ago, tweet 12 hours. Let's see here.
There's much more. There's tweets and then retweets because he retweets tons of
1 hour to 2
other political people. It just seems like he tweets a lot.
We did 3 tweets in the last hour, and then the one the next after that was 12 hours.
All right, 3 tweets in the last hour. All right, no, maybe I'm wrong. It's just
I'm gonna keep an eye on it though.
Yeah, I just started following him the other day, and all my phone does is go boop. Donald Trump just tweeted and it's like, okay, this is a lot of
the retweets wouldn't necessarily be all his though.
You think he has somebody doing it for him?
No, retweets would be other people retweeting his tweets.
No. He'll retweet people's stuff, and when they do that, I seen he retweeted some guys. It was actually another famous politician. He retweeted the famous politician's tweet, and that guy's followers on Twitter pretty much tripled in a couple minutes. It was just a couple minutes.
Well, I would say this. I mean, it's just something to think about. I don't know, but we're used to tweeting by physically typing things in and holding our phones and all that. There's so much money. I mean, Trump could have someone sitting here, tweet this out. He could just speak it, put this out.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and again, Trump has so much money. He's probably got stock in Twitter. Think about that.
Probably.
Right.
That's probably a true statement. He's probably got stock in Twitter.
You know what I think's funny though? Right now they're doing all these polls on, impeaching Trump and all that. How many people, myself included, in this chat know anything about what's going on with Trump that really warrants an impeachable offense? I have no clue. It's all rumor and conjecture.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm with Green Bay Wacky. When the president is put into office, he has handlers.
Yeah,
he's not making all his own decisions. He has people that does that for him and tells him what to say most of the time. Whether Trump adheres to most of it or not, it is a fact.
I think one of the most amazing things that happened on this show, Question Everything, was the week that we were talking about Q-Anon, which was this movement that people at Trump rallies were holding up this Q sign, the letter Q. And
Here, I got a conspiracy for you, but you can't tell Cab 7.
Mountain Dew, huh?
Wait a minute. I've got it too, right? Wait. Oh, come on, green screen.
Don't tell Cab.
Oh crap. Come on, green screen. It's invisible. Oh crap. My Mountain Dew is invisible. Wait, I'm with you on a ghost. You can see parts of it right there. Oh, you can see it. Look at that. You can see it. I'm doing the dew.
Don't
I think
tell Cab.
Here it
I
comes.
think the biggest thing that's happened on this show was that week we were talking about Q Anonymous, and that was the week that they pulled 2 people out of the crowd that were holding the Q, and they said Q wants to talk to you. They took a picture with Donald Trump. Then they were interviewed on national news, and the people had said, Q is this movement online where we get secret information about what Trump is up to. And in this interview, the person said, this week, there will be something really big that happens, and it will have to do with sex trafficking.
Did you see Bren's comment? Now, Bren, I agree with you, but we can't. That's one of those conspiracies that we can't talk about on YouTube, because as soon as you say,
that's the trigger word.
loud,
The trigger word.
it is a trigger word, and they will shut us down like that. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? Bill would bang his skank with what?
Oh my goodness.
Get them.
Wow.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh, you're all right. As long as we don't say it out loud on the stream, we should be all right.
Yeah, we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
We could allude to it. Like I ordered and I went down and checked my mail. I had to open the,
Yeah, it's actually that's kind of a conspiracy in itself. We don't know whether, obviously the government has their hands in everything, even social media, and things like that.
Do you honestly, like this chat, do you honestly think for 1 minute that these people that, are in the senators, the congressmen, all that when they get too out of line, they don't get the phone call in the middle of the night? You've got a beautiful daughter. Wouldn't want to see anything happen to her. Click, I mean, you don't think that these people are controlled? My goodness. Government's controlled.
It's like I said, it's one of those things. Even YouTube has cracked down. We had to change the name of the show. Remember, it was called Let's Talk Conspiracies at one time.
Right.
And we had to change the name of the show because you can't have the word conspiracy in the title or the tags.
But
you can get it flagged and taken down.
I'll say it again. They want us gone. They want
conspiracy channels that have been taken down because they've set a trigger word, or they put that into the tags, or whatever the case might be. So we've been.
Is it all right to finish my story yet?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah. Well, anyways, the most amazing thing that happened on this channel was the week we talked about the Q Anonymous. Those people had said something really big is going to happen this week, and it had to do with these investigations into sex trafficking. And this was predicted. We talked about it. Just a couple days later was the day they arrested that Epstein guy.
Yep.
Just a couple days later, and that was on this show. We were talking about it. We just heard about it. We were just, throwing it around. Didn't know much about it at all. We had said it'll happen within a week. That's what they say. And within a couple days, they busted Epstein. And then Trump actually held the Q up to take the picture with the people, almost confirming to the people, yes, this is what I'm doing. And what they think he's doing is a secret investigation into all of the sexual predator stuff that goes on within government.
So let me ask this, Lud. Are you saying that, if I'm hearing you right, you think that he's trying to do a good thing, like he's actually trying to investigate some of the bad things?
This is no, this is not my theory. This is what the Q-Anonymous group itself thinks.
Well, and it was right after we did that stream, like a week later, he committed suicide.
Yeah, and he committed suicide. That guy's witness protection.
Yeah, I don't buy the whole suicide bit. I think he was made, it was made out to be that he committed suicide, but I think Lou's right. I think he was put into witness protection for.
The thing is,
but
they showed his face, and they showed him on a stretcher when they brought him out of the building. Now, they're not supposed to show somebody when they're dead on the news. It's actually against the law. They can't do it. So when they showed him in a stretcher with a blue face, that just tells you that they wanted everybody to see that he was dead. And he wasn't dead.
Well, they always do that. Remember, they did that with Saddam Hussein, the sons. They always show that you see on the news the pictures.
Yeah, but no. You didn't see Saddam Hussein on the news. You seen Saddam Hussein on it was one of the guards that took a video, and that ended up going all over the internet and on the news.
Yeah, but that's orchestrated by the government, more than likely.
Yeah, but look at what they didn't show.
It was one of their government officials that took the video.
Oh,
that's how we were able to worm our way out of responsibility. See, what we did with Saddam, we gave him to the people he killed. We said, oh, we'll just, and see, that's against the Geneva Convention. You're not supposed to kill the president of a country. They're supposed to, stand trial. And we gave him to his worst enemy. We had to know what they were, that he gassed them. Of course they were going to hang him.
Well,
so we pretty much assassinated that guy through backdoor means.
Well, back to the Q conspiracy that you're talking about. Even though it's their conspiracy, is their argument that
that's the argument that
is it that Trump's a good guy, that he's fighting for
Trump's fighting for all of these sexual predators. Joe Biden, there's several pictures all over. I'm not even into politics, guys, so don't blame me for saying this. This is just stuff that I've seen on the internet. Joe Biden has come very close to a lot of little girls that he's taken pictures with. He's tried to kiss them.
What?
Oh, yes, he's grabbed them in weird ways. If you look up on YouTube,
Yeah,
Joe Biden gropes little girl or anything like that, so many videos come up because he hasn't done it just once. He's done it so many times. There's hundreds of videos of him getting uncomfortably close to younger girls. I mean, he has done it with some older ladies as well, but always kissing and putting his hands on. And so, yes, this Q conspiracy thing is saying that Trump is going after these people that get away with whatever they want because they run the country. They can't get in trouble.
I think he should. I think that, clean it up, clean up the swamp. But Tony the Rock Fam says, how is it possible to shut down a channel when you're expressing your First Amendment right? Can't they get in trouble for that, Ghost Mafia? Actually, no, they because they own this social platform.
Yeah, you don't have the First Amendment right here on YouTube.
Right. This is YouTube. YouTube isn't America. YouTube is worldwide, and it's their social media network. So you got to go by their rules. Now you can go out on your front porch and say anything you want to. You're in America.
Yep.
I can sit out there and scream the lyrics to "Fuck the Police" by NWA if I want to, and they can't say anything to me. But if I did that on here, yeah, they'd probably shut me down.
Even talking about the stuff that we talk about on this channel could probably get us and a little bit of hot water. But I think it's better for us to always say, go check it out for yourself. Go do the research for yourself. We give
Wow.
I give you the names. And are you seeing any of the Joe Biden?
Yeah, actually, there is a lot of talk about this on the internet.
There is a whole bunch of talk.
And there's some creepy pictures that he's
there's some creepy
some
pictures.
compromising positions with women, young women.
There's creepy photos, and actually there's girls that have come forward and said that, you know, they felt very uncomfortable around Mr. Biden, which these are allegations, by the way. I don't know if they're true, but this is what's circulating.
Purely speculation at this point. But
Yeah, but I'm gonna admit this. I just typed in what you said, Lou, Joe Biden groping little girls, and I pulled up images on Google. There's a lot of pictures that look kind of creepy where he
A
puts his
lot.
hand.
And
I would never go up to a woman and put my hands on certain places.
there's actually videos of those, Green Bay, and you can see at one point where he's literally putting his hands on the girl and she pushes him away and he goes back to do it again, and she's
Wow.
down at the floor like she's really angry, which I probably would be too if I didn't want somebody putting their hands on me like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of wow. Oh my
So
goodness.
right now you're getting a lot of this, you know, a lot of this stuff where they're saying Trump went through different means to try to get information on the Bidens, but what people are not putting into the equation is you're talking about somebody who's they're being accused of being a sexual predator. And I think that's the big thing here. I think that's what's getting lost in the media is,
Well, I just saw oh, what's his name? You know, Giuliani. And he was talking about how the media is like just totally skewed, which I already knew, to hide all this bad behavior from like the other party. I'll just say it that way. They're like,
and anytime anything like something like this had come up, you know, and it's about to be big news, what happens?
something else happens.
Something else happens. So
Yep.
it'll either be a school shooting or the shooting in Vegas, or, you know, it'll be something along those lines. An American tragedy happened today when
Yeah.
this person walked into a mall with an AK-47 and opened fire, killing 21 people, you know.
you want to know
And
something funny
that
though?
blows up the news, and
It's funny-
everything else gets swept under the rug.
It's funny you say that because there was going on for the longest time when Obama was president. There were certain laws that were being changed, things that they really didn't want the American people to know that were being changed. And so they do them like on Fridays right before the weekend. And then it was surprisingly those days, some big other news story would break out that would get your focus.
Yes.
Then these things would get passed and no one even knew that it even happened.
Yep.
Like it never happened, I guess is
You mean like the what was it, the 37 law changes that was supposed to go into effect during the government shutdown while Obama was president? Remember that?
You know,
During the government shutdown, they went into effect, but because of the government shutdown, there was no publicity about it. There was no nothing. It was all, and then what? 7 days later, when the government started back up again, the government started back up. We're not gonna, you know, our economy isn't gonna blow up in our face after all. You know,
Did you ever see those videos where they were proving how the media is controlled, where they had a story break, a certain narrative they wanted out to the public?
and then there's every
like
different
40
news.
news.
says
Everyone's
it.
saying it word for word on like 40 different, you know, and
Oh,
today's
And that
news.
still happens. That still happens.
Yeah.
well, it's called the White House putting out a press statement. They'll only write it down once, and then they fax it to all these different, you know, mainstream news outlets. So they're all getting the same piece of paper saying the exact same thing.
But the problem is our kids today are so dumbed down. They have no clue about this stuff. And we're the older generation that still has a shred of knowledge. Once we're gone, I mean, my kids are left. They'll believe anything.
Hey, Ghost Mafia, you think that's something? There was a Canadian game show host back in the 80s, kissing girls on the mouth and stuff. His name was Fragier Oliver. Well, that's look at Richard Dawson. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
Richard Dawson.
like Richard Dawson was like, he was a hands-on guy. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
you got a lot of grief for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
you
then what was
kissed
the Vanna White hit? What's his name with charges?
Pat
Yeah,
Sajak.
Pat Sajak. She hit him with
What?
charges for. Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, Vanna.
Sued him for sexual harassment and won. And then stayed on the show.
Oh, well, if you saw
And
her
then- well-
gig, there's no wonder she stayed in the show.
Well,
She
here-
only films once a month.
It was after her spread in Playboy. Pat Sajak made advancements to her.
Wait a minute.
Sued him.
Spread and play. Vanna White went naked?
I've got the Playboy. Would you like to see
No,
it?
no, that's okay.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure Lou would.
I can't show that on here, but maybe in the after call, I'll dig it out.
Show
But
me an
I have
after.
I have the Vanna White edition of Playboy. I'm a collector. What can I say? I got all the oldies. Anyway,
You know what scares me is just like you're saying about the younger generation, the younger people that I talk to are so disillusioned with it all. They don't want to vote for anybody. They don't even care. Are you going to vote? No. Why? It doesn't matter. And that's what we're teaching our kids is even if we vote, it ain't going to make a difference. So now it's getting to a point where the vote's going to be controlled by such a small portion of the people.
Yeah, but let's be real. Do you really think that, that we, the American people, like control by going to this electronic machine once every 4 years what's going
No.
on? Seriously?
Not at all.
But people actually believe that. They really do.
There was a man, he was a comedian. He actually, I believe, just passed not too long ago, but his name is Dick Gregory. And he ran for president back in, it had to be it was sometime in the 70s. And he ended up getting 9 million votes in one certain, what are they called? The sections, different
Swing
sections.
states or something, or
Well, anyways, he got 9
sectors.
million votes. And what did they do? They said that it was a glitch and they took it away from him. And it's because he was a black man in 1970 running for president. And he was getting so many people to get up and vote for him that it scared the crap out of them. And they said it's a glitch.
Have you ever watched like where the actual candidates come from? It was actually supposed to be that people were suggested into these positions from, they were farmers, they were these kind of people. Everyone that anyone even votes for is a millionaire or billionaire. It's all orchestrated.
Oh yeah.
It's really flavor. You want A or B, really evil or kind of evil.
I just hope that, people still get up and go vote. I don't care which way they vote, just as long as they do it, because I've been talking to people and that's the answer I get is I'm not going to vote. Why not? Why aren't you going to vote? Because I don't care. That's what they say. I don't care,
they're so used to, the American government wants to be like mom and dad, and we're the kids. Okay. Oh, we know what's best for you, Junior. So this is what we're going to do. That's the attitude that the American government has towards the American public. Okay. So certain generations have gotten used to that. Okay. A lot of people don't question everything. A lot of people like, hey, I like the way things are going for me right now. I like the way that I live, and the government's doing all right by me. So why am I going to, raise my head up and buck against the system that's working for me, kind of thing. And, they're raising their kids, and the kids are oblivious to what's going on to all those years. And then the kids become adults and they come out with the same attitude. Like, okay, well, they haven't done anything to me. Gas prices are a little high. Milk's expensive, but, for the most part, it's a free country, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, if you want to keep it free, if you want to keep the freedoms that you have in this United States, you have to know what's going on. You have to, that's why the Second Amendment was written.
Yeah, people misunderstand that all the time. Back when America was formed, the reason you had the right to bear arms was to take back your government, because the technology was an even playing field. It was like guns, bayonets, cannons. It was all, if the government got out of hand, the people could take it back. But now the government holds all the keys. They get all the high tech stuff.
Well,
They've got all the technology. They've got all the cards. They've set up for world domination, basically.
well,
that's what it's gonna
Cattle.
A one world government is what it's going to come down to.
That goes into gun control. The reason why we would want to take, now, I don't see any reason to take any kind of arms away from any United States citizens, but that would be the reasons they want to put these sanctions on these rifles. Like an AR-15 isn't an automatic weapon. It's a rifle. It's just a rifle with multiple bullets that can shoot.
The AR doesn't even stand for assault rifle.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about
the name of the company that came up with the actual design for the weapon. It's it's not an abbreviation for automatic rifle.
The thing is if we strip away all of our weapons, we have no way to defend what if something ever happened on our own territory where our people had to stand up and go out and fight? We'd be screwed.
Yeah, but the way they spin the story to the public to get them on board is, look at like what happened at Walmart and these horrible tragedies. So people then say, yeah, take the guns away, because they don't, but they're taking away.
All right, why didn't we take the guns away back in the days of Bonnie and Clyde and Lucky Luciano and the guys who would sit with
the Tommy guns?
Yeah, Tommy guns.
Yeah,
because the mobs and the mafia were working together with the government in a lot of cases, such as, even right up to Kennedy's death. There was conspiracy theories that said that the mob did the hit for the government.
Yeah, actually, I've seen another conspiracy. Well, this is probably well known, that the mob did take the hit, but the reason they were going after Kennedy was because he was going to try to out everything that was going on with Roswell and all that stuff.
Well, he had his hands in a lot of things. He had arguments with the unions, the Federal Reserve.
Did you know this about Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe, I think it was like a day or two before she died, had sent a threatening letter to Bobby and John Kennedy saying that she was gonna do a tell-all. And then
and then
they were getting mad at her.
Dead.
They were like, we got to silence this girl. She's going to blow the lid on all our.
You got to remember, she was actually snuck into the White House. She had both brothers. Okay.
Yeah.
She was messing around with both brothers.
Yeah.
Even behind John's.
That girl signed her own death certificate.
Yeah, she was in bed, for lack of a better term. She was in bed with both brothers and knew too much.
She didn't
like she was complaining.
She didn't like the way she was being shunned.
Yep.
And she had wrote a note saying, I'm going to do a tell-all. And before that ink dried on that note, she was dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this in defense of, I don't like all the stuff, how we've been kind of taken over by the government, but I still love the United States of America. I do,
The United States of America is a beautiful thing.
I love the United States of America, and I firmly believed on the morals and everything that was founded on. Our current government.
I think our
Cap 7. What the hell?
Like, what does that mean?
I think our biggest saviors, if the crap hit the fan, would be our veterans. Our veterans, our true patriotic veterans, where they took an oath to defend this country during against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I think even older veterans would rise up and defend what we've all sacrificed for.
I agree. My hat goes off to the veterans, volunteers, firemen, EMS, first responders, everybody that has served this country in one way, shape, or form. And I know there's a few of them out there. I know Cab 7, my brother Cab 7, veteran. I know that Grumpy Vlogger, he's out there in the chat right now. Great channel. Got to check him out. He is a veteran. He was actually stationed at Area 51. And we got to get him on the show.
There's my dad's medal from Notorious Service.
My mom was just saying that we were
Rock.
out this the other day, and my mom said, yeah, if something like that happened, I would be, she said she would be right in the middle of the fight. And my mom's 60 years old. And my mom's a tough lady. Yeah, I'm afraid of her, so.
Like Tina's vlog says, my dad says, you're welcome. It was his honor. Just as my son serves and has since he was 19, he is 33 now. And Jenny Martha says, God bless your dad in heaven, Green Bay Wacky.
Yeah, he was on the beaches in Normandy.
Shout out to all the veterans out there, foreign, at home and abroad. I know that there's POWs out there that still haven't made it home, and we pray for their families and for their loved ones every day that they make it home at some point.
Yeah, my dad was the guy in Private Ryan. He was on the boat where the doors went down. He said most of his friends were gone before he even hit the beach. He saw it firsthand. Paid a dear price. He was messed up for life. And they didn't even know about that, traumatic syndrome thing at the time. That wasn't a big thing, but he had it for sure.
Yeah, I always take my hat when we start talking about the veterans. I always say my hat's off to you. I always take my hat off. And every time that I'm up on your panel and you do your veteran shout out, I take my hat off to show respect for the veterans and in appreciation for everything that did to give us the freedoms that we have today. So.
Sorry, Lou. Sorry, Lou. Started going on.
And I know Mama Rock is a veteran too. Shout out to Mama Rock. Mama Rock, we love you.
I feel like I cut Lou off though.
No, I was getting some cereal.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's funny though. I want to, just because you brought it up, we were talking about the guns and the shootings. You ever notice how it seems like some of these things that are out in the media that you always hear that the person that did it was like cornered in a building somewhere and they got him. You ever notice that? Like,
well, and I almost said this earlier too, Green Bay. That was the one that they didn't show pictures of. They said, hey, we got him. We got bin Laden. We got him. He's dead. And we buried him at sea.
Yeah, bullshit.
I don't buy it. I don't think that they got him. I think that was a ploy to raise.
They might have found out that
numbers.
They found out he was dead because we bombed the hell out of a lot of them caves. We might have found out that he was dead and that we did get him and made up a crappy story like that. But you're telling me we're going to kill the most wanted terrorist on the planet and not give anybody the satisfaction of knowing he was killed? Like,
well, I think our government probably pays off those groups with money.
Honestly, I think there was a long range. I think there was a, how do I want to say it? I think that after Obama got in there and he instituted the Obamacare and all, his numbers dropped off drastically. Okay. His public acceptance started dropping off. So they had to come up with something to boost his public acceptance. And all of a sudden he comes out, hey, we got bin Laden. We've been trying, Bush couldn't get it done. I got it done.
I got it done.
you know, and then they just put it out there. I don't think he was really dead at that point. I think they said they got him, buried him at sea, and then had 16 different black ops teams combing the world to find him and put him 6 feet under then.
You know what we should have done
If
with?
they even did that, he might be on an island somewhere with a yacht.
Yes. Do you know that Osama bin Laden's little brother lived in the Bush estate, and they called him Little Bush because he was considered family?
Really? I never heard that.
That's actually that's a fact. That's well known.
The college that I was going to here in Ohio, the last time I went to college, I went back, third time back to college. I was going back for a civil engineering degree, and Osama bin Laden's niece went to that college.
Now, what we should have done with Osama bin Laden is we should have took him and put him in like Giant Stadium, and then lined up every single person who wanted to be involved with this. Every single person in the United States should have got a chance to kick him in the balls.
Oh, wow.
And I think he should have been kicked in the balls to death.
Public
If he
stone.
survived,
But do
if
you
he
think
survived that would, I mean, let him live. But
do you think that our government pays those groups off? Because I do, and that's why I think there's been sort of no big activity here for a while. I think our government pays off the big groups like that, and then they tell the foot soldiers, like, don't touch, US. They're paying us $10 billion.
I think it's a little deeper than that, but I don't even want to get into that. I think something like that.
That's just tip of the iceberg. But think about it. Why haven't we had a major event since
9/11?
I don't want to say this. This is just something I observed.
Yeah, I want to hear it, Lou.
When I first seen a picture of so-called ISIS members, if you studied the picture well enough, you can see the things that these people were wearing. And I'll tell you what, they did not look like they were from another country. They looked like people wrapped up. I mean, their watches, their glasses, the things that they were wearing just did not fit what they, I think that some
almost
of
like costumes is what you're saying.
I think some of these groups are actually even made up. I'm not saying they all are. I'm saying there is some that have been made up.
I believe you, Lou. I actually believe that.
Southern Belle?
I mean, all they got to do is splash a few pictures out there, get the media behind their story, and boom, you got an instant.
Another thing is, we got so many groups out there that would jump at the chance to just say, all right, we don't know that Osama bin Laden did anything wrong. He maybe should have had a trial to prove his guilt, but we don't know. I don't want to even get into it. Never mind.
No,
I think there's a lot of unanswered questions in the Osama bin Laden case. Okay. Now, supposedly he was the mastermind behind the Al Qaeda attacks on the World Trade Centers and the Pentagon, and
yeah, but he would have been the prime candidate to say, yeah, we did it. And there's plenty of people that would say, yeah, we did it. We're the ones who did it.
Well, supposedly he did. Supposedly he put out a video claiming responsibility for it just hours after it happened, and all that. But as far as his death goes, I don't think he was really dead at that point. I think they just needed to boost
All right,
Obama's ratings.
I remember that. That was sort of sped through the media, like to make Obama look good. It was just kind of
with the technology. With the technology we have right now on YouTube, I've seen people do this on YouTube. We could take Ghost Mafia right now and put Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on Ghost Mafia and actually use his voice and everything Ghost Mafia does will be
the chopper.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Oz needs air.
Deep fakes, is that what it's called? It's an app where you can put anybody's face. You could overlay it to any video.
Yeah.
I believe it's called deep fake, something like that.
Well, even some of the filters on some of these apps nowadays are getting really, really good. Oh, Green Bay shut off his camera. Did he lose internet?
He don't want to be seen. He's got to go do something with his wife.
Oh, it's the cookies. Yeah, that's the conspiracy.
No, I'm here. What coffee do you think I can drink, and hang on for hours,
Well, we are at the 2-hour mark, so
I'm here.
Wrapping it up a little bit. But I want to thank everybody that came in tonight. Thank Cab 7 and, oh, wait a minute. I got a list here. There was Cab 7.
Jeepers, he's going to shut it down. I'm just getting excited about all these conspiracies now.
And West Haven Always Forever with super chats. We had a lot of people in the stream. A lot of people I haven't seen in a while, like Lilith Nova.
Night Shame.
And we had some very, that was awesome. Them guys coming into the chat. And guys, if there's somebody out there in the chat that you don't recognize and you think their name is cool or you think their channel would be something you'd want to visit, go over to their channel, check them out. Hit that bar, ding that bell, drop a like on one of their videos, and leave a comment so they can get back at you. We do kind of promote networking in the stream while it's going on, but we just don't want to see it in the stream. There's nothing wrong with networking and reaching out to other channels and making those connections. That's how you grow on YouTube. So absolutely check out the other channels in the chat. A lot of great channels out there. Christina and Son, Ghost Squad, Sharpshooter, the Mod God. This is somebody that you absolutely need in your stream sometimes.
Can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, if you want it, it is ready.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
I love that.
YouTuber, bro.
The merch is out. It's in my merch store. So if you wanna, I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
No, Lou, you're not giving it justice here. I'm gonna give it some justice. I'm just a YouTuber, bro. I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
Buy my merch.
And we still have official dog ham shirts over at the Ghost Mafia Teespring too. You can check those out. Because it all comes back to dog ham.
Yeah. I think it all comes
Hey, Wacky, what you got going on? You got some new videos out? You plug away, man. We got a few minutes.
My new video. I finally did make my 10 ways to succeed on YouTube.
10 ways to succeed on YouTube, guys. If you haven't seen this video,
Did you like it, Lou? And you can be honest.
oh, I loved it.
I mean, I did the best I could with it. It took me 14 hours to make that video.
That is the new YouTube Bible. If you guys want to know how to succeed on YouTube, how it's done, how the big guys do it,
He unwraps the conspiracy behind how to make your channel grow.
you know, guys, there's
number one. You got to see the number one way to succeed. I wonder how
yes,
many
there's people out there right now selling their systems on how to become number one on YouTube, and Green Bay Wacky gives it to us for free.
That's right. He's telling us the things that nobody else wants you to know.
Yeah.
Because that's how they got big.
I freaking love that video. I put my heart and soul into
Guys,
it.
right after we end this live stream, go to Green Bay Wackies, check out what's the exact title?
It's 10 proven ways to succeed on YouTube. It's like my third or fourth video back.
10 ways. Yeah.
10 proven ways.
And it's full of surprises. If you watch the whole thing, it's only 7.5 minutes,
Guys, don't let your porch fall
Shameless plug.
condominium because it'll be horrible. Make sure you watch the video.
Cab 7 like that parties. Wow, my patio dropped off.
Oh, so guys, if you like the content, make sure you drop a like on the video. And, we are viewer funded. So, we do accept the super chats and PayPals and things like that. I don't ask for them, but when they get thrown in there, everything goes back into making the content better. and I had to get a hold of Zoom and find out what the hell the deal was tonight, because there's some kind of conspiracy going on with that. But I'll find out.
It was a blessing for me. I ended up on your show. So.
Yeah, I was like, Green Bay, I need you, help.
I just woke up. Literally, I was up for 20 minutes.
I was about ready to give up and say, hell with it tonight. We'll do it again. You know, we'll reschedule. And you came in and saved the day. So a big shout out to Green Bay Wacky for saving the show tonight. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And
I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
I'm sorry. I like that more than Dog Ham.
I just want to shoot a video.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a live stream, man. So, all right, guys. Big shout out to all my moms.
One last conspiracy before we go. I just
but wait, there's more.
I just seen it in the chat right now. Have you guys noticed?
I'm gonna make that shirt. I'm gonna make but wait, there's more.
Have you guys noticed that you can't hit the like button lately? And it
yes.
Yes.
We went through that last night. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
You know, I want to say something before you go. You know, there's 55 people in the chat. I would seriously hope that all 55 of you are subscribed to my brother Lou Rock here, because he is the real deal YouTuber. He's got great content. And of course, goes Mafia as well. So,
and I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
Yeah.
But guys, go check out that video. We're talking about 10 proven ways to succeed on YouTube. YouTube can be #1 on YouTube if you knock Green Bay Wacky out of the first position.
And if you like the video, tweet it out, share it. You know, it'll get around. People, you know.
Yeah, I got to do an unboxing video tomorrow. A little sneak peek for you.
I might unbox Lou Rock's nose there. I don't know.
You know you like that nose, Green Bay.
I like that picture, Lou. I don't know where you got that picture, but that picture works for you. I don't know how it's just.
That's a picture of me.
You can't see him. Look at that.
Inside of a dark building.
It's just the way you got it just works for you. It's some photographs are just kind of, that one works. I mean, that's beyond just a regular photograph. So
I gotta get some picture frames, and I gotta get I gotta turn off my virtual background, because evidently it's been on this whole time. But I'll show you. I got some fan mail in the mail today. I just want to show this real quick. I'm gonna do an official unboxing. I don't want to show the packaging because it's still got their name.
I don't see it. It's see-through.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's still in wax paper. But there's one of the paintings that Haya Truth sent us.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Haya Truth sent. Yeah, there's Haya Truth right now.
Wait, can you see it in the stream though? Because in the stream it was looking like.
And this is the other one.
Just show it.
I mean, it's kind of foggy right now because the wax paper is still on them. But I got to get a couple of picture frames, and these are going to be going up on the YouTube Wall of Fame over there.
Nice.
That's going to go on that wall there, and those are going to be going up. I got to do an unboxing video. I didn't want to like show the packaging that they came in because they has their address and stuff on it. I don't want to dox anybody. So, but yeah, I had truth. They came today. I'm gonna get some. I got to get some picture frames. I might actually make the picture frames from them because I like this one really good. And Heather picked out this one. So, but I'm gonna get some picture frames, get them up on the wall this weekend, and I want to do an unboxing video. So, put that up on the channel. Be watching for that, guys. We're gonna end this here. So we will see you. In fact, there is more. Sunday, we did our first episode of #Scariest Catch, and it was hugely successful. I couldn't be happier at the numbers that came from it. You guys made it happen. It was a great show. What'd you think, Lou?
I watched. Oh, sorry.
I thought it was awesome, but guys, we need to clarify something here. I'm doing a video on people's video captures. I keep getting a lot of pictures that people are sending me. And if you want those pictures to be in our live stream, send them to hashtag scariest catch. And that way there we'll have them ready for the show. We're doing two different things.
Yeah. Hashtag scariest catch on Twitter. All one word.
Yeah, all one word.
Scariest catch, all one word, no space.
I overslept when you did the show, but I watched over an hour, probably an hour of it. I saw that was some creepy stuff on there.
I
I've been
absolutely
getting some
love
really-
that. I love that picture that I used of Citizen Z's for the thumbnail for that, because it
Was that the tree?
Yeah, there's like a tree, but it looks like there's an old guy sitting there with like a cigarette in his hand like this.
And it
looks
that
like
creature with
Jefferson.
the lightning streak. I could kind of see the possibility of someone on the floor with arms. I don't know.
Yeah. There was a few good pictures in there that I really liked. So Sunday night after The Walking Dead, probably we're gonna say 11 because I watched Walking Dead and then usually a little bit of the Talking Dead afterwards. So we're gonna say 11 o'clock Sunday night gives you the whole weekend to go out, do some exploring, get some captures, and have them ready for Sunday. So,
I thought that closet shot too with the vapor in it was, I don't know. I thought that you guys didn't dwell on that a lot, but I thought that was pretty freaky actually. You
and
thought it
if
was a
anybody
shawl,
wants to
but
be a guest, if anybody wants to be a guest on the show, let us know. And it's going to be first come, first serve. But if you're in the paranormal community and you've got pictures and you got a little bit of knowledge behind it, and you want to get up there on it and on the panel with us and give some of your thoughts on some other people's photos, hey, you're more than welcome.
is it going to alternate this week? Is it going to be on Lou's channel this week?
This Sunday it'll be over on Lou Rock's channel.
Okay.
And then the next Sunday it'll be over on Brian's. Then it'll be back on mine.
Okay. Yeah,
So we're gonna bounce it around, kind of share. It's kind of like a shared program, but it's really fun to do actually. As long as we can get all the pictures sent over to Twitter, because when you're jumping around from here's one on Instagram, here's one in Hangouts, here's one on Facebook, here's some on Twitter. Got to get all the photos in the same place, so it makes it a lot easier and it runs a lot smoother, and we can go through more pictures that way. So you don't have.
We are working on two different projects. I'm trying to put together a compilation of our community, not people that we don't know, our own community. I want the best paranormal captures that you guys got. Doesn't have to be ghosts. It can be UFOs. It can be angels coming out of the sky. I don't care really what it is. It just needs to be video. If anybody's confused with that, send the pictures to hashtag scariest catch.
Tony Rock Fam says, I have a picture I can send you from Joe from Yugi.
No, we're only accepting pictures that are your pictures.
Yeah, they have to be your pictures. They have to be your captures.
Yeah,
if there's somebody else's, we could get a channel strike for that. So,
well, actually, no, because we're reviewing it, but we want to see what the community has. We want to see what you guys have, because I know there's a ton of channels out there that are freaking awesome, and they don't get the chance to get their stuff seen. I remember being a really tiny channel and having some really cool stuff and just thinking if somebody would just get their eyes on this, I mean, people would like to see this.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do for you guys. That's what me and Ghost came up with.
And look at some of the finds that we had just this last Sunday. That one of Citizen Z, it blows me away every time I look at it, man. That was an awesome pic. And then that one that looked like a giant spider in the closet, that was like,
please, yes, only submissions that are your pictures, your own personal. We're looking for, like we said, from the community. We're not looking for any other bigger YouTubers catches. I want to see what you guys got.
yeah. And for the show, we stick to mainly just the pictures, because video, you have to rewind it, play over again, rewind it, play it. Although there was one video that we did because of that shadow moving through the background. That was freaky. It was like
I actually
crawl
want
across the ceiling, and then you see it go behind him.
whoever sent that video. I want to put that in my video that I'm making, because I'm gonna do like a top 10, top 15 videos, and it's all gonna be from the community. So
Hyatt Truth is asking you if they can send one through email. Do either of you have an email address on your about page?
Does Higher Truth have Twitter?
if you have Twitter, you can just put a hashtag on it, and it'll
You can just literally just search hashtag scariest catch, all one word, and then tweet it right to that, and it'll come right up, and we'll be able to screen share right from there. That's the best way to do it. Oh, they don't have okay, Higher Truth. I think you send it to Heather, and she'll send it to me, because I know you're in communication with my wife, Lady Swan. Send it to her, and then I'll have her upload it to hashtag and that. I sent her your email for Hangouts. Okay.
Well, Citizen Z says, Ghost Mafia, it would be good if people don't send the same photos every week. Yeah, we're not going to review the same.
No, I mean, I can see when they come in and stuff like that. So it's, that they'll be on there. We might actually show like the winner from the week before in that.
Yeah.
Just as like a recap of, maybe some of the best photos from the week before, just to kick off the show.
Also, if your photo wins, if your photo is picked as the best photo of the night, you will be
you'll be immortalized as the thumbnail for the show.
And also, if anyone out there has photographs where Cab 7 used to have hair, please submit those.
Cab 7 with a $10 super chat to my brothers and sisters that have served.
Well, hair where, Green Bay?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's for JoJo's channel. My bad.
Well, you said at 30,000 you're getting a Brazilian wax, Lou.
I'll stick to that.
I heard you say it when you hit 30K. Brazilian wax.
It ain't gonna happen anytime soon, so I ain't got to worry about that.
And speaking of JoJo, tomorrow night, JoJo Walker Unplugged will be doing her Whacked Out Wednesday stream. Hopefully it's back tomorrow. I still got to talk to her yet, but be watching for that one. Thursday, EVPs with Brian's Paranormal Ghost Mafia, and I believe it's on my channel this week. So we'll be back here on Thursday live streaming for EVPs. And Friday is What the Freak Friday with JoJo Walker and Lady Swan. And I'm not sure whose channel it's going to be on this week. I think it's on Lady Swan's, but I could be wrong. But watch for it. So that being said, guys, we're going to get out of here. We will see you where we see you.
Question everything.
Question
everything.
You know it all leads back to dog ham, but follow the money.
I'm just a YouTuber who eats dog ham, bro.
I'm just a YouTuber, bro. I question everything, man.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get that shirt that says, what I say it was going to say? I just said, oh, yeah. But wait, there's more.
It's the longest goodbye in YouTube history.
I know. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you guys later. Cab 7, be watching for the invite to the after call.
Yeah. And thanks for inviting me up, guys. Thank you, Lou.
Not a problem. All right. Good night, guys. Dog.